he is taller than dash. He is taller than dash. Options are she, her. He is taller than dash. She or her. I said what sounds correct may be incorrect. But what sounds incorrect may be correct. He is taller than dash. Most of you might have gone for her, but the correct answer here is she. He is taller than she. Right? Simple reason is, right? He is a subject in this sentence. She is also a subject. In the very first session, when I went for grammar, I told you how to identify whether an auxiliary verb is a linking one or a helping one. I gave you the rule as well. I told you how to identify whether an auxiliary verb is linking or helping. I write two sentences. If I say, he is an intelligent person. He is an intelligent person. He is dancing. He is an intelligent person and he is dancing. Clear? You know what a main verb is. I told you. Any action can be termed as a main verb. Singing, dancing, playing, fighting, running, jumping, teaching, learning. All actions can be termed as main verbs. So any action can be termed as a main verb. Clear? Fine. He is an intelligent person. He is dancing. Come to the first sentence. In the first sentence, I say that is called a linking verb. In the first sentence, is called a linking verb. Whereas in the second sentence, I say that is called a helping verb. In the first sentence, is linking, whereas in the second sentence, is helping. Clear? Now you consider these two sentences. Considering only these two sentences, tell me, how can we differentiate between a linking verb and a helping verb? Come to the first sentence. He is an intelligent person. Is there any main verb in this sentence? I mean any action? Main verb refers to action. Is there any main verb in this sentence? Any action? No action. That means there's no main verb. If there's no main verb, there will surely be an auxiliary verb, because there are no sentences in English without a verb. If there is no main verb in a sentence, then the auxiliary verb in that sentence is termed as linking. Right? Come to the second one. He is dancing. Any main verb? Dancing is a main verb because it denotes action. If there is a main verb in a sentence, then the auxiliary verb in that sentence is termed as helping. That is how we can differentiate between a linking verb and a helping verb. If there is no main verb in a sentence, then the auxiliary verb in that sentence is termed as linking. If there is a main verb in a sentence, then the auxiliary verb is termed as helping. Clear? Fine. Now come to this sentence. He is taller than dash is a sentence. Right? What is a verb here? The verb in this sentence is is. Is linking or helping here? Is there any main verb in this sentence? We don't have any main verb in this sentence. That means in this sentence, is a linking verb, because there is no main verb in this sentence. Now the rule is just this. If there is a linking verb in a sentence, the pronoun in that sentence must be in the subjective form. That is a rule. I gave you the list of subjective pronouns, objective pronouns. The rule is this. If there is a pronoun in front of if there is a linking verb in a sentence, the pronoun in that sentence must be in the subjective form. Clear? So he is taller than dash is a sentence. Is a verb here which is linking. So in this sentence we have a linking verb. So pronoun in this sentence must be in the subjective form. She is subjective. I gave the list. Whereas her is objective. So it should be he is taller than she. Sounds incorrect, but it is correct. Clear? Now is there any need for me to say he is taller than she is? He is taller than she is. There is no need for me to say he is taller than she is, because that becomes redundant. She is not required. Is understood there. Clear? So he is taller than she is more than enough. Fine. We are stronger than dash. they, them. We are stronger than dash. They or them. It should be, okay, we are stronger than dash is a sentence. What is a verb in this sentence? The verb in this sentence is are, auxiliary verb. Linking or helping here? In this sentence, are is a linking verb because there's no main verb in this sentence. If there's no main verb in a sentence, then the auxiliary verb is termed as linking. So in this sentence, are is a linking verb. As I said, if there is a linking verb in a sentence, the pronoun must be in the subject. So it should be, we are stronger than they. Because they is subjective, whereas them is objective. We are stronger than they sounds incorrect, but it is correct. Clear? And there's no need for me to say, we are stronger than they are. Because are is understood here. We are stronger than they is enough. Got it? If I say, who was it? Who was it? As a question. As an answer, I write, it was dash. Question is, who was it? Answer, it was dash. Options are I, me. Who was it is a question. Answer, it was dash. I or me. It should be, it was I. It was me sounds correct, but it should be it was I, because it was dash is a sentence. What is a verb in this sentence? There's no sentence in English without a verb. The verb in this sentence is was. Was is linking or helping here? Linking here, because there's no main verb in this sentence. As I said, if there's a linking verb in a sentence, the pronoun must be in the subjective form. That is a rule. So I is subjective, whereas me is objective. So it should be, it was I. Sounds incorrect, but correct. Right? Who was it? It should be, it was I. It was me is wrong. It was me sounds incorrect in fact. Sounds correct in fact, but that's grammatically wrong. Right? So who was it? It was I. Fine. Similarly, as I told you about an infinitive, 2 plus verb. Right? If a pronoun comes before an infinitive or after an infinitive, that pronoun must be in the subjective form. If a pronoun comes before an infinitive or after an infinitive, that particular pronoun must be in the subjective form. For example, if I say, his boss asked dash to do the work. His boss asked dash to do the work. Options are he, him. I said the rule is this: if a pronoun comes before an infinitive or after an infinitive, it is not subjective, it must be in the objective form. That is the rule. If there is a pronoun before an infinitive or after an infinitive, you know what an infinitive is? 2 plus verb. If there is a pronoun before an infinitive or after an infinitive, that particular pronoun must be in the objective form. Clear? Come to the sentence now. His boss asked dash to do the work. To do is an infinitive because do is a verb. Do is a verb and to do means 2 plus verb. Clear? To do is 2 plus verb. So here the pronoun is coming before the infinitive. As I said, if a pronoun comes before an infinitive or after an infinitive, that particular pronoun must be in the objective form. So to do is an infinitive and the pronoun is coming before the infinitive. So this pronoun must be in the objective form. He is subjective, whereas him is objective. I gave him the list. So he is eliminated because it's subjective. The rule says it must be in the objective form. So it should be his boss asked him to do the work. Clear? Similarly, to teach dash is a difficult task. To teach dash is a difficult task. Options are they, them. They is subjective, whereas them is objective. To teach dash is a difficult task. To teach is an infinitive because teach is a verb and to teach is 2 plus verb. As I said, if a pronoun is coming before an infinitive or after an infinitive, it must be in the objective form. So to teach is an infinitive and the pronoun is coming after the infinitive, so this pronoun must be in the objective form. So it should be that to teach them is a difficult task. Clear? Anyways, you keep this in mind in the case of pronouns. Clear? If there's a linking verb in a sentence, the pronoun in that sentence must be in the subjective form. If a pronoun comes before or after an infinitive, that particular pronoun must be in the objective form. Clear? Right. Anyways, I'm stopping it here in the case of pronouns. In case of any doubts, you may post, or else we'll move on to logical reasoning. We move on to reasoning. Now here, I gave you some concepts of reasoning. In the very first session, second session, I gave like the concepts I discussed are general, specific. I hope these concepts are there with you. Comparative degree adjectives, superlative degree adjectives, fact, doubt. I explained all these in detail, right? Fact, doubt, metaphor, simile. Apart from these, I discussed indicators. The three kinds of indicators: contrast, support, cause-and-effect indicators. I gave you a list of general words like all, always, only, never, everyone, everybody, everything, every time, everywhere, someone, somebody, something, sometime, somewhere, whatever, wherever, whenever, whomever, etc. Sorry. I hope you have taken down that list, right? So here, in the case of reasoning, the option that we select must be exactly the same as what is given there in the paragraph. That means there should not be a slight difference. There should not be even a slight difference between the option that we go for and what is given there in the paragraph. Clear? And logic is all about this logical reasoning. Logic is all about applying the concepts. Clear? Fine. I'll give you some examples based on logical reasoning. You might take down these questions. I'll write down the question on the board. You may take down. I'll give you some options as well. Think about what can be inferred from this particular question. Clear? Fine. The question is this. You may take down. There are glaring inequalities. There are glaring inequalities between man and man. There are glaring inequalities between man and man. Laws can ensure an ordered society. Laws can ensure an ordered society, but only hard work will help us achieve the social objective, only hard work will help us achieve the social objective of economic goals. Of economic goals. This is a question. There are glaring inequalities between man and man. Laws can ensure an ordered society, but is a key word here. But is a key word. Contrast indicator. I gave but in the list of contrast indicators. Now we apply the concepts onto the question and then only think about the options. Clear? But is a key word. I gave the list of indicators in detail. Contrast, support, and cause and effect. And as I told you, indicators are termed as keywords. So don't miss any indicator while reading. Right? Now, but is a contrast indicator. A contrast indicator connects to contradicting ideas. That means the second idea contradicts the first idea. Clear? First idea is positive, second idea must be negative. Or first idea is negative, second idea must be positive. So a contrast indicator always connects to contradicting ideas. The second idea would be against or contradicting the first idea. Right? So but is a key word here. But only hard work will help us achieve the social objective of economic goals. Clear? Fine. Now, this is a question. First option is only hard work can remove inequalities. Only hard work can remove inequalities. First option. Second option, economic equality is more important than discipline. Economic equality is more important than discipline. Clear? Third option, both 1 and 2. Fourth option, none of these. Clear? I said apply the concepts onto the question and then only think about the options, right? And these are the concepts we discussed in the reasoning part. General, specific, comparative, superlative, fact, doubt, metaphor, simile, indicators. If what is there in the option is general, what is there in the question also must be general. If what is there in the option is specific, what is there in the question also must be specific. If there is a comparative degree adjective in the option, there must be a comparative degree adjective in the option. That means if two entities are getting compared in the option, the same two entities must get compared in the question also. That means if X and Y are getting compared in the option, X and Y must get compared in the paragraph also. Clear? Similarly, superlative degree adjectives, ST words, strongest, tallest, sharpest, most beautiful, most intelligent, etc. If there is a superlative degree adjective in the option, there must be a superlative degree adjective in the question. That means, if the author uses a superlative degree adjective to refer to an entity in the option, the author must use a superlative degree adjective to refer to the same entity in the question. If not, eliminate. Clear? Similarly, fact and doubt. If what is there in the option is a fact, what is there in the question also must be a fact. Similarly, I told you all this, I'm just repeating it. If what is there in the option is a doubt, what is in the question also must be a doubt. Clear? Then simile and metaphor. I said simile and metaphor both refer to comparison. Both refer to comparison. There is comparison between two entities, right? Not comparative degree adjectives. They are different. Comparison between two entities using like or as is termed as a simile. Comparison between two entities using like or as is called a simile. If I say Sachin is like God, Sachin is like God. That means I'm comparing Sachin with God using like. That is termed as a simile. Clear? Comparison between two entities using like or as is termed as a simile. Whereas comparison without using like or as is termed as a metaphor. Comparison without using like or as is called a metaphor. If I say Sachin is God, if I say Sachin is God, metaphor or simile? Simile. If I say Sachin is God, it doesn't mean that he is God. It also means that I'm comparing Sachin with God. The only thing is the comparison is made without using like or as. That is termed as a metaphor. So in the option, if it is a simile, in the question also it must be a simile. That means if I say I take an option, I find two entities getting compared in the option, and that is a simile. Then the same two entities must get compared in the question also, and that must also be a simile. If not, eliminate. Similarly, I go for another option, right? I find two entities getting compared, and that is a metaphor. Then the question also, the same two entities must get compared, and that must also be a metaphor. If not, eliminate. Clear? And most importantly, focus on indicators, right? So this is a question. Think for a while. There are glaring inequalities between man and man. Laws can ensure an ordered society, but is a key word, contrast indicator. That means this idea is contradicting this idea. Clear? Only hard work will help us achieve the social objective of economic goals. From this, what can be inferred? One says, only hard work can remove inequalities. Two says, economic inequality is more important than discipline. C says both 1 and 2, and the last one says none of this. Come to the first option. Only hard work can remove inequalities. Now I gave the word only in the list of words you have to be careful about. I gave the list, as I said earlier, all, always, only, never, whatever, wherever, whenever, whoever, whomever, everyone, everybody, everything, such words. Clear? I gave those words and I said be careful about those words. Clear? If such a word is there in the option, such a word must be there in the question. Clear? Here it says only hard work can remove inequalities. Here also it's okay. It says only hard work. That is fine. Right? Only hard work here, only hard work there. So that concept is okay. Fine? Right. Only hard work can remove inequalities. In this option, we have two entities. One entity is hard work. Other entity is inequalities. Clear? That means the two entities are getting related or connected in option 1. Only hard work can remove inequalities. The two entities like hard work and inequalities are getting connected in option 1. Clear? Come to the question. The mention about inequalities comes in the part before but or after but. The mention about inequalities, according to the question, but is a context indicator. The mention about inequalities, according to the question, comes in the part before but or after but. The mention about inequalities comes in the part before but. Clear? Hard work. According to the question, the mention about hard work comes in the part before but or after but. According to the question, the mention about hard work comes in the part after but. Clear? In option 1, two entities are getting connected or related. One is hard work and the other one is inequalities. Both the entities are there in the question. That's okay. But according to the question, the mention about inequalities comes in the part before but, and the mention about hard work comes in the part after but. Now tell me, according to the question, are inequalities and hard work related to each other? According to the question, inequalities and hard work are not related to each other. According to the question, inequalities and hard work have no connection at all, because inequalities and hard work are connected or are contrasted by but. But is a context indicator. That means the mention about hard work is contradicting the mention about inequalities. That means hard work and inequalities have no relationship with each other at all. Whereas according to option 1, hard work is being related to inequalities. Such a relation is not there in the question, so 1 is eliminated. Hope you got it. In option 1, hard work is related to inequalities. Whereas according to the question, hard work is not related to inequalities because the mention about inequalities comes before but. And the mention about hard work comes after but. But is a context indicator. That means hard work and inequalities, according to the question, have no relationship with each other at all. And according to statement 1, hard work and inequalities are related to each other. Such a relation is not there in the paragraph, so 1 is eliminated. Based on that, 1 and 3 are eliminated. Because 3 says both 1 and 2. Clear? Now come to the second one. Economic equality. Economic equality is more important than discipline. Economic equality is more important than discipline. Equality is okay. It says glaring inequalities, but economic equality is not mentioned there. Leave it. Discipline can in a way be related to ordered society. Ordered society means a disciplined society. But a simple reason for eliminating option 2 is, option 2 says economic equality is more important than discipline. More is a comparative degree adjective. As I said, If there is a comparative degree adjective in the option, there must be a comparative degree adjective in the question. Clear? Is there any comparative degree adjective in the question? In the question, there is no comparative degree adjective. So because of this simple concept, 2 is also eliminated. Answer must be 4, none of these. Hope you got it. I eliminated both the options only with the help of concepts. Clear? In the first option, hard work is related to inequalities. But according to the question, hard work and inequalities are not related to each other. Because but is there. But is a contrast indicator. That means they have no relationship with each other. Second option, more is a comparative degree adjective. There's no comparative degree adjective in the question. So easily 2 is also eliminated. Answer must be D, none of these. Clear? Hope you got it. Fine. So keep practicing with the help of concepts only. Fine. One more question I'll give. I rub this part, the whole thing. You may take down this question. Many people are endowed. Endowed means what? Blessed, gifted, blessed, etc. Many people are endowed with plentiful time. Many people are endowed with plentiful time. Idling away time, I-D-L-I-N-G, idling. You know what is idling, right? I mean, wasting time, sitting idle, not going for any work, not doing something, etc. Idling away time is a sign of high status for them. Idling away time is a sign of high status for them. This is a question, right? Many people are endowed with plentiful time. Idling away time is a sign of high status for them. This is a question. From this, what can be inferred? First option, take down, first option, affluent people, affluent, A-F-F-L-U-E-N-T. Affluent people means rich people, wealthy people. Affluent people idle away time. Affluent people idle away time. That's the first option. Second option, good fortune. Good fortune makes a person idle. Good fortune makes a person idle. Third option, both 1 and 2. Last option, none of these. I tell you, you apply the concepts under the question first and then only think about the options. Clear? And the option that we select must be there in the question. Question is, many people are endowed with plentiful time. Clear? Idling away time is a sign of high status for them. Now, them is a pronoun. I told you about the concept of pronoun antecedent. Pronoun antecedent. Now, pronouns will surely help us while doing reasoning questions, verbal logic questions. Clear? In fact, pronouns are important in the case of sentence correction and especially in the case of reading comprehension. Reasoning questions, right? Verbal logic questions. Pronoun antecedent. Now, pronoun antecedent means, as I told you, I've already told you, each and every pronoun must refer to a noun before it. That means without having a noun, we can never have a pronoun. Every pronoun must refer to a noun before it. A singular pronoun can refer only to a singular noun, and a plural pronoun can refer only to a plural noun. That is a concept of pronoun antecedent. Clear? Fine. Come to the question once again. Many people. Many people is general or specific? Many people. If I say many people, some people, a few people, a lot of people, lots of people, a majority of people, all these are specific. I told you about this. I said, like, I think at the time I gave an example like this. Some students, many students, a few students, a lot of students, lots of students, a majority of students, all these are specific. Clear? Some people, many people, a few people, a lot of people, lots of people, a majority of people, all these are specific. Whereas if I say all people is general. All people is general because I gave the word all. In the list of words, there are general in fact. All people. Clear? Now, someone, somebody, something, sometime, somewhere. Someone, somebody, something, sometime, somewhere. These words are general. Because someone is a single word. Somebody is a single word. Sometime is a single word. Something is a single word. Somewhere is a single word. So all these words are taken as general. Whereas some people is taken as specific. Because some and people are two different words. Clear? So someone, somebody, something, sometime, somewhere are taken as general. Whereas some people is taken as specific. Because some and people are two different words. Clear? All people is taken as general. Fine? Right. So many people, I told you what is in the option is general, what is in this question also must be general. If what is in the option is specific, what is in the question also must be specific. Clear? Fine. Many people is specific. Right? Many people are endowed with plentiful time. Idling away time, you know what it is. Idling away time is a sign of high status for them. Them is a pronoun. The concept of pronoun antecedent, as I said. Every pronoun must refer to a noun before it. Them is a singular pronoun or plural pronoun? Them is a plural pronoun. So without having a noun, we can never have a pronoun. Now tell me, the pronoun them here refers to which noun? The pronoun them here refers to which noun? Them here refers to many people. Many people are endowed with plentiful time. Idling away time is a sign of high status for them. So them here refers to many people. And many people is specific. Clear? Right. Now come to the first option. Affluent people. Affluent people means rich people, wealthy people. Affluent people idle away time. Right? Now tell me, are affluent people given there in the paragraph? No imagination at all. Are affluent people given there in the question? No. Which people are talked about in the question? In the question, the people who are talked about are those who are blessed with plentiful time. People being blessed with plentiful time doesn't mean that they are rich or wealthy. So affluent people means rich people. Rich people are not talked about in the question. The question talks about people who are blessed with plentiful time. And as I said, getting blessed with plentiful time doesn't mean that they are rich or poor. So affluent people are not given there in the question. So based on that, 1 is eliminated. So options 1 and 3 are gone. Because 3 says both 1 and 2. Clear? Now we're left with 2 and 4. Come to 2. Good fortune. Is good fortune talked about in the question? Good fortune in fact also means being rich, having a lot of money, right? Wealthy, etc. Simple. Good fortune is not talked about there. Forget about it. Good fortune makes a person idle. Good fortune makes a person idle. I told you this specifically while doing the concepts of reading comprehension. There are 3 articles in English. Which are they? As I said, a and the. These are the 3 articles in English. It will be there in the notes if you have taken it down. A and an are termed as indefinite articles. A and an are called indefinite articles because we don't use a and an to refer to a specific person or a specific object. That's why they are termed as indefinite articles. That means a and an indefinite articles are taken as general. A and an indefinite articles are taken as general. The is called the definite article. The is called the definite article because we use the to refer to a specific person or a specific object. That's why the is termed as the definite article. That means the definite article is taken as specific. Clear? So a and an are taken as general, whereas the is taken as specific. Now come to option 2 once again. Good fortune makes a person idle. A person is general. Right? A person is general. That means statement 2 is general. I told you, in the option if it is general, in the question also it must be general. So a person here is general, whereas in the question it is many people. Many people is specific. Right? A person is general, many people is specific. General and specific will not go together. So this also cannot be concluded. Answer must be 4. None of these. Hope you got it. Clear? So I just eliminated and selected or eliminated based only on the concepts. I didn't select in fact because both the questions said none of these. Right? I eliminated options based only on what we discussed long back. Right? I think in the second session in fact. Got it? Fine. I'll give you one more question. You may give it a try. I'll rub this part. Let me take down this. The policy of liberalization. The policy of liberalization. Liberty means freedom, as you know. The policy of liberalization will make the rich richer, will make the rich richer, and the poor poorer, and the poor poorer. Right? The disparity between disparity between means the difference, right? The disparity between the rich and the poor, the disparity between the rich and the poor will widen. Will widen. This is a question. The policy of liberalization will make the rich richer and the poor poorer. The disparity between the rich and the poor will widen. First option. Liberalization is not good for India. Liberalization is not good for India. Second option. The rich believe in liberalization. The rich believe in liberalization. Third option. Liberalization widens the gap between the rich and the poor. Liberalization widens the gap between the rich and the poor. Last option, none of these. None of these. Think well. The policy of liberalization, like giving freedom, etc. The policy of liberalization will make the rich richer. Now here, the rich is a phrase. The rich is a phrase meaning rich people, right? And the poor is a phrase meaning poor people. The rich means rich people. The poor means poor people. Clear? These two are phrases, in fact, right? Now, if I ask you, what is the language of England? Language of England is termed as English. What is the people of England called? Englishman, English below, okay, but still, language of England is English. The people of England are called? The people of England are called the English. Similarly, language of France is French. People of France are called the French. And if you add the in front of the language, it becomes a people. Language of England is English. People of England are called the English. Language of France is French. People of France are called the French. Right? Similarly, the Spanish. The Spanish refers to the people of Spain. The Chinese refers to the people of China. Clear? So the rich and the poor are phrases meaning rich people, poor people. The policy of liberalization will make the rich richer and the poor poorer. The disparity between the rich, disparity means, as I said, the differences. The disparity between the rich and the poor will widen. Because of the policy of liberalization, the rich will become richer and the poor will become poorer. So of course the gap between the rich and the poor will widen. Clear? Fine. From this, what can be inferred? One says, liberalization is not good for India. Two says, the rich believe in liberalization. Three says, liberalization widens the gap between the rich and the poor. And four says, none of these. Come to the first one. Liberalization is not good for India. Right? Now, as I said, the option that we select must be there in the paragraph, must be in the question. You must be able to infer that from the question. No details should go beyond the question, outside the question. Liberalization is not good for India. India is not being talked about in the question. Clear? So that is a detail, or that is a word that goes outside the question. Actually, no details should go outside the question. So India is not being talked about in the question, so easily one is eliminated. Right? Come to 2. The rich believe in liberalization. The rich believe in liberalization. Now, according to the question, what is talked about the rich and the poor is that if the policy of liberalization is implemented, the rich will become richer and the poor will become poorer. That is the only thing talked about in the question. That means the gap between the rich and the poor will widen, because the rich will become richer and the poor will become poorer. Does it mean that the rich believe in liberalization or the poor believe in liberalization? No. That meaning cannot be inferred from the statement. The only thing talked about is that, as I said, rich becomes richer, the poor become poorer. It doesn't mean that the rich or the poor believe in liberalization. So this detail also is not given there in the question, cannot be inferred from the question. So 2 is also eliminated. Got it? Come to the third one. Liberalization widens the gap between the rich and the poor. Liberalization widens the gap between the rich and the poor. Can this option be gained from the question? The question contains 2 sentences. First sentence, second sentence. Can this option be gained from the question? Liberalization widens the gap between the rich and the poor. The second sentence in the question says, the disparity is same as differences or gap. The disparity between the rich and the poor will widen. That is a fact or doubt. Will, as I said, will and would of a fact. I gave earlier. Will and would of a fact. May and might of a doubt. Would is a past tense of will. Might is a past tense of may. That is the only thing. It says the disparity between the rich and the poor will widen. That means if the policy of liberalization is implemented, the disparity or the gap between the two will widen. Between the rich and the poor will widen. Fact. Come to 3 now. Liberalization widens. Fact or doubt? That is also a fact. Liberalization widens the gap between the rich and the poor. This can be inferred from the statement. That means this is given there in the statement. So 3 is absolutely fine. So 4 is also gone. Answer must be 3. Got it? Fine. So we'll take a 5-minute break.